Welcome back to our channel, passionate viewers. Today is a truly beautiful day to dissect the incredibly intense, heart-stopping drama unfolding on our favorite soap opera. The stakes have never been higher, and we are absolutely thrilled to guide you through the latest explosive developments that are about to change everything. The unforgiving, scorching sands of the Nevada desert were supposed to be the final resting place for a monster, but evil possesses a terrifying resilience. Matt Clark, a man whose very name sends shivers down the spines of the Newman family, has defied the Grim Reaper once again. Following a frantic, desperate chase and a brutal confrontation that left Sienna Bacall entirely convinced she had committed murder, the dust has settled to reveal the horrifying truth. Matt is not dead. As the blazing sun beats down on the barren landscape, the villain awakens, his body battered and his mind momentarily clouded, but his dark spirit remains entirely unbroken. The sheer, terrifying willpower required to pull himself from the brink of death speaks volumes about the depth of his malice. This is not just a man surviving the elements. This is a predator refusing to be put down before his ultimate hunt is complete. The physical toll of the altercation is undeniably severe. Matt is suffering from a massive, bleeding head wound and a significant concussion that leaves him dizzy, disoriented, and stumbling through the arid wasteland. Every step he takes is a testament to his dark endurance. The blood matting his hair and the agonizing throbbing in his skull would incapacitate an ordinary person, but Matt Clark is fueled by something far more potent than adrenaline. He is propelled forward by a toxic cocktail of hatred, vengeance, and an insatiable desire to make those who wronged him suffer unimaginable pain. He drags his battered frame across the desert, ignoring the searing heat and his own physical limitations, driven by the singular, chilling thought of returning to finish what he started. His survival is a dark miracle that spells impending doom for anyone who thought they were finally safe. Eventually, this walking nightmare stumbles upon a slice of ordinary civilization in the form of a desolate roadside diner sitting like an oasis in the middle of nowhere. The contrast between the mundane, everyday setting of the diner and the sheer, concentrated evil radiating from Matt is deeply unsettling. He pushes through the glass doors, completely at odds with the innocence of his surroundings. Finding an empty booth, Matt collapses into the vinyl seat, looking incredibly rough, bruised, and brooding. He does not ask for medical attention, nor does he seek the authorities. He simply sits there, a wounded animal gathering his remaining strength, his eyes scanning the room with cold, predatory calculation. The patrons and staff have absolutely no idea that they are sharing space with one of the most dangerous, remorseless sociopaths to ever walk the earth. When a well-meaning waitress approaches his table, her eyes immediately dart to the gruesome bandage of dried blood and the horrific bruising on his forehead. With genuine human concern, she inquires about his condition, perhaps ready to dial emergency services to get him the medical attention he so clearly requires. But Matt Clark has no use for her sympathy or her help. He completely ignores her inquiry about his well-being, his demeanor cold and detached. Reaching into his pocket, he pulls out a hotel key card, the very key card to the suite where he had been orchestrating his elaborate, sadistic games against the Newman family. He holds it up to the waitress and demands to know exactly how far he is from that specific location. His mind is already 10 steps ahead, formulating a desperate plan to return to his base of operations, regroup his scattered resources, and prepare for the next phase of his vicious assault. Head trauma of this magnitude often brings the risk of severe memory loss, and while Matt might be experiencing moments of confusing fog, some things are simply too deeply ingrained in a person's soul to ever be forgotten. The trauma to his brain is absolutely no match for the decades of festering hatred he harbors toward the Newman family. The memories of his past defeats, his obsessive fixation on Sharon Newman, and his burning desire to destroy Victor, Nick, and Adam are permanently etched into his psyche. He may not remember every single detail of the scuffle in the desert with perfect clarity, but his internal compass points exclusively toward vengeance. He knows exactly who his enemies are, and he knows that his mission is far from over. This temporary physical setback has only poured gasoline on the raging inferno of his wrath, ensuring that his next move will be even more calculated and deadly. By attempting to play the hero and nearly ending his life, Sienna Bacall has made a catastrophic, potentially fatal miscalculation. She believed she was eliminating a threat to protect the man she loves, but instead, she has unknowingly painted a massive, glowing target on her own back. Matt Clark does not forgive, and he certainly does not forget those who dared to strike him down and leave him for dead. Sienna has now elevated herself from a mere pawn or an inconvenience to a primary target of his sadistic retribution. When the time is right, and Matt has fully recovered his strength, he will undoubtedly come looking for her. The psychological terror of knowing that Matt is out there, silently plotting his revenge against Sienna and the entire Newman clan in Genoa City, creates an atmosphere of suffocating suspense that leaves everyone entirely vulnerable to his impending wrath. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in the supposedly safe haven of Genoa City, Sienna Bacall is entirely oblivious to the fact that her victim is currently ordering coffee and asking for directions in a Nevada diner. She is instead drowning in a terrifying ocean of guilt, panic, and psychological distress. Sienna is absolutely convinced that she is a murderer, carrying the heavy, soul-crushing weight of taking a human life. To make matters infinitely worse, she has just endured a relentless, piercing interrogation from Sharon Newman. Sharon, whose own traumatic history with Matt has honed her survival instincts to a razor's edge, correctly deduced the massive, glaring holes in Sienna's narrative. The pressure of Sharon's accurate skepticism is causing Sienna's fragile mental state to completely shatter, leaving her a trembling, weeping mess, entirely unable to cope with the nightmare she believes she has created. Witnessing the woman he loves completely fall apart, Noah Newman steps in, desperately trying to be her anchor in this raging emotional storm. Noah's heart aches as he attempts to comfort Sienna, wrapping his arms around her and offering unwavering support. He is fiercely determined to protect her from the fallout, completely blinded by his profound love and devotion. The tragic, heartbreaking irony of this situation is palpable. Noah is exhausting his emotional reserves to comfort a woman over a horrific crime she completely failed to commit, while the real, breathing monster is slowly making his way toward them. Noah's protective instincts are entirely misdirected, and his desperate attempts to soothe Sienna's guilty conscience only highlight how dangerously unprepared they are for the horrific reality that Matt Clark is still a looming, lethal threat. Beneath his supportive exterior, Noah is wrestling with a profound, agonizing internal conflict of his own. He is deeply terrified by the dark, violent past that Sienna has just revealed to him. The realization that the woman he intends to build a future with is capable of engaging in a deadly struggle and leaving a man to die sends a chilling shudder down his spine. Noah considers himself a moral, upstanding man, and the ethical weight of harboring a confessed killer is tearing at his soul. He is desperately trying to reconcile the gentle, loving Sienna he knows with the blood-soaked woman who stumbled back from the Dane in the Sahara Desert. This terrifying secret is acting like a slow-acting poison, threatening to completely rot the foundation of their relationship before Matt Clark even has the chance to strike his next physical blow against them. While the Newmans grapple with the lingering ghosts of Las Vegas, another massive explosion is detonating within the walls of the Baldwin household. Michael Baldwin, the brilliant legal strategist, is currently enduring the fiery, unyielding wrath of his wife, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin. The tension in their home is thick enough to cut with a knife following Michael's shocking decision regarding Phyllis Summers. By advising Phyllis to take a plea deal and effectively refusing to shield her from Victor Newman's wrath, Michael has crossed a line that Lauren finds entirely unforgivable. Lauren is absolutely disgusted by what she perceives as her husband's cowardly subservience to Victor. She is fiercely loyal to Phyllis, her best friend, and seeing Michael abandon her in her darkest hour has ignited a marital war that threatens to destroy decades of profound love and partnership. The emotional agony Michael is experiencing is profound and entirely debilitating. He is a man completely torn apart by impossible, conflicting loyalties. On one hand, he shares a decades-long, incredibly deep friendship with Phyllis, a bond forged in the fires of countless scandals, and shares secrets that have defined their lives. On the other hand, he lives in absolute, paralyzing fear of Victor Newman's unparalleled power to destroy lives and careers. Michael knows that standing against Victor in this corporate war would mean professional and personal suicide. Yet, making the pragmatic choice has cost him dearly. His heart is completely broken as he realizes he has not only lost his iconic, legendary friendship with Phyllis, but he has also deeply alienated the woman he loves more than anything. He is trapped in a suffocating corner, drowning in regret and self-loathing, entirely unable to fix the catastrophic mess he has made. The catalyst for this devastating personal fallout is the ruthless, unstoppable machine that is Victor and Victoria Newman. Their relentless pursuit of Phyllis has escalated into a terrifying corporate execution that is leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Utilizing a highly advanced, potentially illegal artificial intelligence program, Victor has manufactured a web of incriminating evidence designed to completely corner Phyllis and force her to surrender the Summers conglomerate. This is no longer just a business dispute. It is a vicious, calculated campaign of total annihilation. The Newmans are playing God with people's lives, entirely indifferent to the massive shockwaves their actions are sending through Genoa City. They are so laser-focused on reclaiming their empire and punishing Phyllis for her hostile takeover that they are completely ignoring the devastating collateral damage piling up at their feet. This reckless, scorched earth corporate warfare is about to trigger extremely alarming news for both Kane Ashby and Billy Abbott. Because Phyllis utilized deeply unethical and illegal tactics to build her empire, specifically drugging Kane to secure his signature and framing Billy in the process. The district attorney's sweeping investigation is now dragging them directly into the crosshairs. The impending legal nightmare could not possibly come at a worse, more tragic time, especially for Kane. Just as he prepares to undergo a life-saving medical procedure for Malcolm Winters, the heavy hand of the law is reaching out to ensnare him. The terrifying prospect of Kane being tangled up in federal investigations while Malcolm lies dying in a hospital bed elevates the stakes to an agonizing, life-or-death crescendo that threatens to tear the Winters family apart. As we sit back and watch these interwoven tragedies unfold, it is impossible not to feel a profound, suffocating sense of anxiety gripping our own hearts. We are genuinely terrified for these characters whom we have invested so much of our emotional energy into over the years. Watching Michael Baldwin, a man we have always admired for his sharp wit and fierce loyalty, crumble under the weight of his own fear is genuinely heartbreaking. It leaves a bitter, hollow ache in our chests that is hard to shake, and the sheer, paralyzing dread that washes over us knowing that Matt Clark is out there, breathing, healing, and plotting is almost too much to bear. We find ourselves wanting to reach through the screen to warn Noah and Sharon, to beg Victor to stop his ruthless games before an innocent man like Malcolm pays the ultimate price. The emotional toll of watching this narrative unfold is heavy, raw, and undeniably powerful, reminding us why we are so deeply connected to this world. With Matt Clark gathering his dark strength in the desert, CNN and Noah drowning in a sea of deadly secrets, and the Newman corporate war threatening to claim the lives of innocent bystanders, the powder keg is officially primed and ready to explode. Will Michael Baldwin find the courage to defy Victor before he loses his marriage forever? Can Kane Ashby possibly navigate the terrifying legal maze in time to save Malcolm Winters' life? And most terrifyingly of all, when Matt Clark finally steps out of the shadows and descends upon Genoa City, who will be the first to fall victim to his unholy vengeance? The storm is no longer just approaching, it is here, and absolutely no one is safe. Stay tuned, because the next chapter will change everything forever.